last recording. This is about the election. Some of this we've already studied, but it's never too late to go over some things. Okay, now, to be President of the United States, you must win the majority of the electoral votes. There's 538, but you only need 270 to win. It's based on winner-take-all theory. Now, if you run for president, there's going to be a national nominating convention, and you'll pick up delegates. So where do you get these delegates? Well, you get them in primaries. Now, a lot of people would like to have a national primary where one day everybody votes for whoever they want, and this would be less money, less time, and so on. But we don't necessarily do it that way. Now, in the national convention, you'll pick a president. You also write a platform. What does your party stand for? There's two types of primaries, open and closed. Actually, there's three, but mostly just two. A closed primary, you must register ahead of time to vote. Open, you just got to show up. And the third one is blanket, where you could vote for both Republicans and Democrats. Now, both of the open and closed, you must tell, I would like to vote for all the Democrats or all the Republicans. Now, caucus used to be the way we would pick all the candidates. The leaders would get in a little room and they'd pick everybody. We don't do that anymore. About 40% of the states use a primary, but some of them still use a caucus. But now, anybody can go to a caucus and give their opinion. Now, party identification is the best way to determine how you're going to vote. If I knew you're a Republican or a Democrat, I could pretty much guess who you'll vote for president. Political socialization says your parents will teach you your beliefs in abortion, the death penalty, gun control. And eventually, you will vote the way your parents voted. Now, superdelegates was formed after the election of 1992, where the leaders knew that McGovern was going to get killed, a Democrat. So they said, okay, we don't ever want this to happen again, so they would appoint delegates. And then these delegates would hopefully vote for what they think the best person is. Okay, this is just a type of election where you do not have to win a majority. All you have to have is more votes than anyone else. Of course, you couldn't be president because you do have to have a majority to be president. All right, voting pattern. Who votes? Okay, rich vote more than the poor. Better educated people vote. Women vote more. Non-minorities vote more. The older you are, you vote more. And those are basically the voting pattern. Now, why do we have a low voter turnout in the United States? Well, there could be a lot of reasons. Apathy is probably one. My vote doesn't count. I'm too busy. I don't care. But it also hurts a little bit that our elections are usually on a weekday where people are still working. They're not. Some countries have it a holiday. Okay, Motor Voter Act was passed hoping that we could get the young to vote by saying when you, okay, maybe a little bit better. Let's see here. There we go. Motor Voter Act said that when you register your car, you also can register your vote. Now, this did increase the number of young that were registered, but the actual people who voted that are young actually went down. So that was not a successful idea. All right, talk about that. Now, PACs, there's two kinds, PACs and then there's super PACs. PACs are a bunch of citizens get together to give a candidate money. They can give him, I think the limit is $5,200. One person gives another candidate. Now, the super PACs are the ones who raise millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars, and businesses and labor unions can do that. The difference is A super PAC cannot give it to a candidate, cannot even ask the candidate how they want to spend it. So you can help the candidate by making commercials and whatever, you just cannot give the money to them. The government will also pay for your presidential election by giving you money. This is not tax dollars, this is dollars donated by the people. But no one takes this money because there's also a spending limit that goes along with it. So everyone thinks they can raise more money, and so far that's been true. All right, these are some of the the bills that were passed to make sure we can trace. Like if I give Sam Johnson $50, he must write down my name and how much I gave him. Okay. Whoa, here. All right. Let's go to here we go. All right. Now, single member districts. That is okay. Let's bounce back here. Third parties. Third parties are very hard to become president or to have a major office because of two reasons. Number one, a single member district, meaning that in the United States, one district will send one person to Congress. Some countries will have three. So you could see if we had three, there'd be a Republican, a Democrat, and a third party. But we don't. We have one. Also, the winner take all, meaning a third party has to win a majority of a state to get any electoral votes. Now, this means that there was a huge shift. Like after the Civil War, they call it the Solid South because in the South, you always voted Democratic. But after the Civil War, there's a big shift from Democratic to Republican. So that would be a crucial election, would be the election of Lincoln after the Civil War. And then Roosevelt was a crucial election in the Great Depression that swung everybody from Republican back to Democrats. Now this means that you believe that you can influence the government by working hard, trying to help them and so on. Political parties are different than interest groups because political parties' main job is to get people elected. An interest group, their main job is to get their point of view over to Congress, and that they do not run anyone for election. Okay, we went over the election laws. Redistricting every 10 years, we have to count everybody in the United States because the House of Representatives is based on population. In 1929, the number in the House was frozen to 435. So now, if Texas increases its House members by 2, that would mean somebody loses, some state lost 2. Divided government means that the president is one party and at least one house, if not both houses, are the other party. Lobbyists are the people hired by the interest group to go to Washington and make sure that bills they do not like do not pass and so on. They do that by giving them a lot of information, by taking them out on what is called a junket, flying them around, feeding them and so on. Split ticket is when you vote for some Republicans and some Democrats. Now, who controls the parties? Well, if there is a presidential election year, the national party and a national convention controls the party. The 3 years where we're not electing a president, it's a national committee. And there is a national chairman that works on the day-to-day things. Okay, that was another one. Hopefully you're listening to some of these. Thank you.